and welcome back to my channel. If anyone is new here, then my name is Kaushal. You can actually find all of my social media links in the info box below. But today's video is going to be a kind of makeup tutorial. It's inspired by Myra Touch of Glam. I'm going to leave all of her details in the info box below for you all. But she basically did this makeup look all around if makeup tutorials didn't exist. So I was really inspired by that and I thought I would put my little spin on it, and I'm going to do half of my face of how I would do my makeup if makeup tutorials didn't exist. So it's almost like going back like 5 years. And then this side is going to be the side of how I do my makeup nowadays. So if you would like to watch this weird and wonderful tutorial, then please keep watching. So growing up and even now, I'm like obsessed with lip balm. So I'm just going to put some lip balm all over my lips. And before I get into this video, this side is going to be the side if makeup tutorials didn't exist for me. And this side is going to be, you know, my makeup now. So growing up and even sometimes now, I'm really skeptical about primers. I know that they definitely help my makeup sit better on my skin, but also if I've cleansed, toned and moisturized, it kind of does the same thing. So I definitely think that using the right primer for your skin type is key. So if you have really oily skin, you want to use like a mattifying primer. If you've got really dry skin, you want to use like a hydrating primer. That can help your makeup stay on a little bit longer, but I wouldn't say that it will just stay on until you kind of take it off. So I never used to wear primer back in the day and I never really felt the need to. But to balance both of my sides out, I'm going to use my HangoverX primer on this side. I really like this primer because it's really hydrating and it does get a little bit sticky as well. So it makes me feel like my foundation's going to last longer. For foundation, I was always a fan of dewy tinted moisturizers. The one that I actually used to use was the Benefit You Rebel. It's like their tinted moisturizer and I used to use that all the time, but I unfortunately don't have that anymore. I don't really use it and I feel like I really want to get back into it because I really enjoyed it. So on this side, I'm going to use my IT Cosmetics CC cream and I'm going to use it with my hands and fingers because I did not know about beauty blenders until I started watching YouTube videos. And yes, I'm just going to make sure that I'm blending it in as much as I possibly can with my fingers. And on my tutorial side, I'm going to go in with my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation and taking that on a beauty blender. I just feel like I can't live without my beauty blender. I'm so thankful for makeup tutorials and makeup videos just teaching me the wonders of this magical sponge. It does such amazing things for my skin and it makes my foundation look flawless. Moving on to concealer, for my no tutorial side, I legit only used to spot conceal. So wherever I felt like I had a blemish or something that just needed a bit of extra help, that is what I would do. And actually, I used to use the MAC Moisture Select Moisture Cover. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and cover up any areas where I feel like I've got any kind of blemishes. And again, I would just blend this in with my finger. And then of course, for my tutorial side, I do like the full shebang. This is totally not necessary, but I just love the way it gives my face like a really nice three-dimensional look to it. It doesn't make it look flat like this side. So I've got two of my favorite concealers here. I think I'm going to use the Maybelline concealer because I love this and I feel like YouTube has definitely made this concealer like so popular. So I'm going to put this in the usual areas that I like to conceal and highlight, and then again blend that all out with my damp beauty blender. When it came to cream contouring, I had no idea what that was. So for this side, I'm going to leave it blank. And yeah, I just genuinely didn't know what contouring was and what it could do to your face. But for this side, I am going to go in with a cream contour. And for that, I'm going to use my iconic London cream contour kit. Funnily enough, this side of my face, I never really used to bronze either. Forget contouring, I didn't even bronze my face. So I'm just going to go in with my setting powder. And the one that I actually used to use and still love is the MAC Mineralise Skin Finish. This is in the shade Medium Plus, and I'm just gonna dust that all over my face and make sure that everything is nice and set. And I always felt like this gave me a little bit of extra coverage, and I only did this on the times when I was like going out somewhere. But for this side of my face, I'm gonna go ahead and set the areas where I highlighted and concealed using my Kick-Ass Soap and Glory powder, and this is just gonna make sure all those areas are not gonna budge. To set the contour areas, I'm gonna first go in with a bronzer, and the bronzer I'm gonna use is this Urban Decay Beached Bronze bronzer. I actually remember I used to use the kind of domed baked bronzers that Urban Decay came out with. That was like my first bronzer ever and I was obsessed with it. But I'm going to use this one and dust it all over the areas where we cream contoured. And to add a little bit of depth to the areas, I'm going to contour using my Kevyn Aucoin contouring sculpting powder, and I'm going to put that slightly on the areas where I just want to add a little bit more depth and also slightly contour my nose as well. So my base is done. I'm going to move on to my eyes. This is going to be very interesting. So I would always fill my eyebrows in. I love filling in my eyebrows, but for this side, I always used to use powders, and I just used to thicken up the line that I already had because my eyebrows aren't very thick naturally. So the only eyebrow powder that I have is this Freedom powder. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill my brows in how I used to do when there were no makeup tutorials around. I definitely did always used to fill my brows in really dark, and yeah, they did not look very natural at all. And now moving on to my tutorial side, I'm going to use an Anastasia Dipbrow pomade to fill my brow in. I feel like Anastasia Beverly Hills has definitely blown up because of like Instagram and YouTube, so I had to go and use this, and I'm just going to fill in my brows how I usually do. Okay, so brows are done, and now I'm going to move on to eyeshadows. So for eyeshadow, back in the day, I always used to match the color of my eyeshadow with my outfit. So if I'm wearing this green, then the eyeshadow would be the same color. But one thing I'm so proud that I did discover way back in the day was the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I could not do my eyeshadow without this, so I'm gonna stick this on to both of my eyes. And again, for this side, I'm just gonna use my finger to blend it all out. And for the other side, I am gonna go in with the brush. So I would not set my eyelid or anything, I would just go straight in with a colour, and I'm going to use the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette for this. And it looks like this, and I think I'm going to take this colour right here and just put that all over my eyelid. So I never used anything like transition colours. I would just plonk this onto my eyelid and just blend it in. I'm going to add a little bit of Hatter on top just to brighten that up a little bit. And that, you guys, was my eyeshadow done. I can't believe I actually used to just walk around like this, just with like one colour on the lid. And that, you guys, is the eyeshadow done. It was literally as quick as that before makeup tutorials made their way into my life. So for this eye, I'm going to use this palette right here, which is the Blanc Infusion palette by Zoeva. And it's just got some really nice browns and golds in it. And the older I've gotten, I've realised you don't need to have your eyeshadow matching your outfit every single time. Sometimes it's quite nice to give like a hint of a matchy look to it, but not every single time. When it comes to eyeshadow now, I always like working from the top to the bottom. So I'll always start with my brow bone highlight, then my transition shade, and then the colour on the lid. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing, and I'm going to take the shade Noble, and I'm first going to apply that to my brow bone. One thing I definitely believe in now is using clean makeup brushes to do your eyeshadow. I feel like it makes such a difference in the final look because there are no other colours that are getting mixed in and being put onto your eyelid, and it's very true to colour, and it's also really like easy to blend, and it just feels a lot cleaner as well. Now I'm going to grab Joy in a Box and slowly build up my transition shade. I just feel like I cannot live without a fluffy blending brush. I feel like these have changed the eyeshadow game for me. Any kind of fluffy blending brush I can kind of make do with, but I just cannot live without them. Taking a Late Bloomer, I'm going to put that all over the remaining space of my eyelid. And one thing I am going to do, which YouTube has definitely taught me, is spray my brush with some sort of Fix Plus or spray. I've just used the facial spray here by Mario Badescu, and I'm going to pop that into the pan, and this is just going to make the colour really intense. Into that, I feel like I'm going to add a little bit of Sweetness Lingers just to darken it up slightly because I feel like it's looking a little bit too orangey. I'm just taking that transition shade into the crease just to blend all the lines out. Grabbing Last Bite, which is a really beautiful matte, almost like a grey brown. I'm going to smudge that along my upper lash line. And then I'm going to run that same colour along my lower lash line just to make sure everything is even. So the top eyelid balances out what we've got going on the lower lash line. And you know what, I'm going to add a little bit of green to this look. I'm going to take the same shade here called Midnight Blaze and a mixture of Hatter and run that along my lower lash line as well. And you know what, this is a perfect example of how you can add a splash of colour to kind of complement your outfit into your eye look without it having to look like you've just used one colour on your eyelid. Time for some eyeliner. So I'm going to line my upper and lower waterline on this side of my face. I was obsessed with doing this. I would do this like every single day, even if I was wearing like no makeup. I would always have eyeliner on me. So I'm going to do the same thing today, but I'm going to do it on both eyes. I really feel like this is taking me back so many years with this side of my face with my makeup. But now I'm going to move on to mascara, and back in the day I was so obsessed with MAC mascaras. I thought they were the best mascaras out there, and now I know that drugstore mascaras definitely beat a lot of high-end mascaras. So this is the only MAC one that I have. This is the MAC Insta Curl Lash, but I'm only going to put it on my top lashes because I never used to put mascara onto my bottom lashes. So let's give this a go. I think I used to use the Zoom Lash a lot. I don't know if anyone else still uses that. It was such a good mascara, but then I couldn't do it to myself, spending that much money on a mascara so often. So that's it. That's all I would do. And I would leave my bottom lashes naked. And I feel so like, oh, I just want to put a little bit of it on, but I'm not going to. I'm going to move on to the other eye, and I'm going to use my favourite L'Oreal Paris False Lash Sculpt Mascara on both my upper and lower lashes. So my eyes are almost done. I'm going to add lashes right at the end because you guys know I like to let my mascara dry before adding anything on so it doesn't get all over my fingers. So we're going to move on to cheeks. I did actually like wearing blusher. I used to use a lot of like really natural looking blushes. So I'm going to use this Milani Romantic Rose blush, and I'm going to put that on both sides of my cheeks, and I'm just going to add it to like the apples of my cheeks and really blend that out because I was quite good at applying blusher. I never used to apply too much. I always wanted just like a flush of colour on my cheeks. So this is literally what I would do. Moving on to highlight. Highlight has definitely become like a crucial part of my like everyday makeup. Sometimes even when I'm wearing no makeup, I would like to add a little bit of highlighter to the tops of my cheeks just to give me a little bit of a glow. But back in the day when makeup tutorials did not exist, I did not know what highlighter was, and I never knew how to use it, and especially a fan brush. I always used to be like, what is the point of this fan brush? So I'm going to take my fan brush right here, and I'm going to use this new Ofra highlight, which is in the shade Blissful. It is so beautiful, and I'm just going to add that to the tops of my cheeks. And I'm also going to add it slightly down the bridge of my nose on like one side and slightly on my Cupid's bow. And then I always like to go over with my beauty blender just to make sure there's no powderiness. For lips, I always used to love a tinted lip balm. Like I would wear tinted lip balms or lip balms in general all the time. And now I basically just wear liquid lipsticks because I feel like they are long lasting and the colour selection are great. And you can get really good affordable ones as well as obviously high-end ones do amazing ones as well. But for tinted lip balm on this side of my face, I'm going to take this Clarins Instant Light Natural Lip Perfector. And this is in the shade 01. It's a pinky shade. And I'm going to put that on half of my lips. On my tutorial side, you guys know how much I love mixing lip colours. So first of all, I'm going to go in with a lip liner. And I'm going to use the Kylie lip liner in the shade Dolce to line my lips and also slightly fill them in. I'm going to fill that in with a mixture of a Dolce liquid lipstick and also Lolita by Kat Von D. Only a couple more steps left. So on this side, I never ever used to wear false lashes, and if I did, it would always be like something from Eyeliner that wasn't too... It basically looked like I wasn't wearing any false lashes because they used to look so natural, and I quite have like medium to long length eyelashes anyways, so it was kind of pointless. So I'm gonna skip false lashes on this side of my face, but on this side, you guys know recently I've become obsessed with Lilly lashes, so I'm gonna add the style Opulence onto my top lashes of my makeup tutorial side. I do feel like lashes is one of those things that without practice, it doesn't matter how many makeup videos you watch or tutorials on how to apply them correctly, it's all down to practice and kind of getting the gist of them, and that's definitely helped me. So practice definitely makes perfect when putting these on. I'm going to add a really tiny bit of the Artist of Makeup Extreme eyeliner pen to my lash line on this side just so that it hides the lash band. And as always, once my eyelashes are on, I like to go back in with eyeshadow in the areas where I feel like it needs a bit of like adding or blending and things like that. So the final step is the step that I'm so glad that makeup tutorials have taught me, and that is that a setting spray is your best friend. So I'm going to take the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray and I'm going to spritz this side of my face and try not to get the other side. So this is my no tutorials versus makeup tutorials tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I am so thankful for a platform like YouTube because it's helped me really up my makeup game. It's helped me able to share my makeup tips and tricks with you guys as well as learn other ones. But yeah, this is the final result. It's definitely different to how I would do my makeup. But to be quite honest, this side doesn't look as bad as I thought it would have. Like when I look back at pictures, I'm like, oh my god, why are you doing your makeup like that? I definitely feel like, you know, my highlight and my contour, I just cannot live without. And obviously the matte lip. Like I feel like I just can't wear a glossy lip anymore. I just feel like it doesn't suit me. But yeah, I definitely feel like my makeup technique and my makeup game has changed throughout the years. But it's all come with practice. So remember, if I can do it, then you guys can do it too. And one thing I would love for you guys to do is share your one top tip that makeup tutorials have taught you in the info box below, because I would love for you guys to share it with everyone. And yeah, mine is obviously the setting spray tip. I feel like I cannot live without that, especially when I'm doing a full face of glam. So yeah, this is the end of the video. I really do hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and if you would like to keep up to date with all of my new uploads, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button, which is just down there. And yeah, I guess that is all for now, and I will see you all in my next video.